Hey, good afternoon, Justice Warriors. Today is Monday, March 13th. It's just a little bit after 2 in the afternoon. And man, has this Monday been kicking your behind the way it's been kicking mine? It is the Monday right after losing an hour of our lives, an hour of our sleep, an hour of our weekend. So I'm a little resentful, but I'm getting over it. So I hope you are too. Anyway, I wanted to do my cliff notes from my live last night. I'm skipping the live today, but I'll be back on schedule tomorrow. Like I said, the Monday morning was just kicking my behind. So, one of the things I spoke about in my video last night is one of my favorite movies I don't think I've ever mentioned in any of my videos. It's called True Stories. It's David Byrne from the Talking Heads. So the soundtrack is phenomenal, but it is the true story of how the microchip was created in Texas, like Texas Instruments, basically. The town, Virgil, Texas, in the movie is kind of a fictitious town, but it is actually the true story of how the microchip was created. So I would highly recommend checking out True Stories if you don't know that film. And it's just so good on so many levels. I'm not going to spoil it. No spoiler alert on this one. Everything I say in my videos is simply my opinion. It's simply for the sake of starting a conversation, hoping to open up a very intelligent discussion where we can all learn from each other, right? Um, so I still have a question outstanding in my chat, which is about the Nathan Gonzalez. I have no evidence that Nathan Gonzalez is related to Kaylee Gonzalez. Am I saying it right? Steve Gonzalez. Nathan was arrested in Washington State, I believe, for substance charges and maybe distribution, but maybe just possession. But I don't know. There's rumors on the interwebs that he is in prison for unaliving someone and that he is related to Kaylee's family. I don't think it's true, but I know people are still asking that question. So I thought I'd put it out there if anybody else has any more information. All the digging that I've done, no connection. Zilch, nada. And we got to be really careful of the information that we take in and the information that we buy into. Especially with substances. I think people who've never had trouble with substances don't really understand and can be very judgmental and believe that somebody who, let's say, abused hard drugs years earlier in their lives, that they would be more prone to committing crimes after they've cleaned up. It's not true. Not true. A lot of people are in recovery, a lot more than any of us know, because a lot of people don't talk about it. It's very taboo. I'm in recovery. I didn't do like the hard stuff, but I was um, very compromised. It's been 3 decades plus, and I am ever so grateful. So I encourage anybody who has trouble with addiction and substances to get professional help. 12-step programs are fantastic, but really it all comes down to having the support around you and being able to let go and let God or some type of higher power will get you through. It's rough. The early days are the roughest, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. Seriously. Seriously. Just ask anybody who knew me when I was the party animal that I once was. Imagine that. So, another question that people in my chat were wondering yesterday is why would these college kids be targeted? Specifically, this person was asking about Kaylee and Madison. But why would any of them be targeted, you guys? It's a really good question. I think there's a lot more to the story than some crazy professor from the neighboring town. I think that this name Kopaka that keeps coming up again and again, I think he ties in. I'll just say it straight up. I think he ties in with this story. So that is what I'm looking at. Um, oh, I also brought up another movie that I really liked a lot, and you probably did too if you ever saw Taps from back in the early 80s. It was Tom Cruise's first big film. He was like 19 when he did that. Timothy Hutton, Sean Penn, and I mistakenly said Emilio Estevez because he was in a lot of movies with that crew, the Brat Pack, but he wasn't in that. George C. Scott was actually in that. And it was about a military academy that the kids were afraid was going to get taken over by the authorities, basically. So it was kind of a resistance kind of thing, kind of a Lord of the Flies kind of thing. And I feel like that actually is perhaps a metaphor and similar to what's going on the streets of YouTube right now. There's an army fighting a battle, trying to hammer out a narrative, in my opinion, with the Idaho 4, with Kylie Rodney, with other cases as well. So, you guys know I've been really digging on this channel, J is for Justice, and she has gotten a boatload of public records from Moscow PD. Have you guys heard about this? I think I heard it a tiny bit, but it was in her live from last night. There was a small brain on a dumpster outside Sigma Chi the night of November 12th, November 13th. A father was dropping his kid off at the frat house and saw a small brain on the dumpster. Yeah, you heard me right. So he thought it was weird, but it wasn't until things unfolded over the next couple of days that on the 15th of November, he called it into the police department. And you'll never guess who took the call. Yeah, none other than Corporal Brett Payne, who said that it was probably an animal brain. So that's good. Probably not human. That's really good. But why on earth would there be a brain on a freaking dumpster outside of a frat house? To me, that's kind of like a dead bird, you know? Like that's a real bad omen in Irish tradition. And we are coming up on St. Patty's Day. So I don't know. Is it really good luck to have a bird poop on you? Because that happened to me just like a week ago. And I was like, yeah, right. I mean, it's good luck, I guess, if it doesn't get in your eye or poison you with bird influenza or something. It's not good luck when it messes up your clothes or it's in your hair and you don't even know it, but you just got to roll with it, right? Um, Another case that Jays for Justice brought to my attention in her video is this photographer for Fox News that was, um, she got the body cam from the police officer that met with this photographer in the lobby of the Moscow PD the day after Christmas. So on Christmas Day, this photographer got a really twisted email that was so alarming to him that he warned his wife and kids. He got a hold of the FBI. They recommended that he get a hold of Moscow PD. Moscow PD said, oh, yeah, come on right down, and this is a big deal. We'll meet with you. And then they just kind of poo pooed him there in the lobby and said, yeah, okay, email me. We got this. It was weird. It was really weird. Um, but the other thing that I really want to speak to in this short cliff notes is that Bethany and Dylan, where were they that night? That is still not absolute. In my understanding, in my estimation, they were in the community, they were not together. And I think it was Bethany who alleges that she was at this frat party that she says, like, is she the verification? Is she how it checks out that Ethan and Xana were at that frat party? Because I'm getting more and more suspicious of that whole picture. What were Bethany and Dylan doing that night prior to 2 a.m., prior to 4 a.m.? It's not adding up, you guys. If they were in that house when that happened, not only would they have heard it, they would have been scared to death. Scared to death. They would have been trying to get help, to get out of that house, run to a neighbor. I mean, they know Jack right across the street. It don't make no sense, you guys. It doesn't make any sense at all. So going back to the August 21st traffic stop with our criminal defendant, I'm really curious how the 21st of August ties in with the 22nd of August and that position starting at Pullman PD, the one that he had applied for, the assistantship, that we don't know if he got that position or not. And if he did get that position, was he scouting out for starting work the next day? Did the position start a day early or earlier than that even? That's the most important question in my mind at this point, is that outstanding information of whether or not the criminal defendant got the job that he interviewed for, the assistantship at Pullman PD, you guys. I can't believe that is still being held so tight to the chest. If he didn't get the job, why not let that cat out of the bag? Okay? I'm just going to end it right there because that's, I think, where we need to put our focus right now. So, thank you for joining me. Please hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you feel like it and that tickles your fancy. Also, have a great rest of your horrible Monday. We'll get through it, like I said. It'll only get better. And what else? Make sure you get your exercise, eat right, high protein, fruits and veggies, drink your water. Staying hydrated is so important. We all know that, but doing it and remembering to do it every day can sometimes be challenging, even though we know we're supposed to do that. So we also know that being kind to ourselves, being kind to other people, and forgiving of ourselves and forgiving of other people will make our lives much happier. So eat, pray, love. Peace out. Sending you light and sending you love. See you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.